So if you're looking forward to go to a mining dimension, in this video, I'm going to show you how to use the mining dimension. And before we start, if you can subscribe to my channel, that would be great. I only post Minecraft content. So if you're interested in Minecraft content, especially modded Minecraft content, this channel is absolutely for you. And let's get started. Okay, so to go to a mining dimension, you need to use the teleport pad. Now to craft the teleport pad, all we need is we just basically need an ender pearl and 4 oldemodium nuggets. Now, if you have never heard of oldemodium ingots or nuggets, or you don't even know what this is, I have just previously posted a video how to get oldemodium. So if you're interested in basically getting oldemodium, go to the video in the description down below, and there is a video for you to explain how to get this. Now, just before you go, there is a couple things I'm going to recommend. First of all, I would recommend taking some kind of miner or some kind of quarry. In this case, either you can use a digital miner, or I would recommend using an RF builder. Both of these machines have their advantages and disadvantages. One of the best advantage I would say for an RF builder is if you want a lot of blocks quickly, then this is the way to go. An advantage to using a digital miner is that you can use specific blocks that will mine. So for example, if you want diamonds, then it's just going to mine diamonds and it's going to leave everything else apart, which means it uses less electricity, right? However, it is definitely slower unless you can upgrade it fully, but then you need more electricity to use it, right? I actually have made a video about it at digital miner, so if you're interested in watching that, it will be in the description down below. Okay, so I finished yapping and let's go to the actual mining dimension. So you need to make sure that you don't have anything in both hands. So don't have anything here, because 2 seconds ago I just made a little mistake. I couldn't teleport. So make sure your both hands are empty, and if you shift and right click, this will teleport you to the mining dimension. And as you can see, this is the mining dimension. Now, if you have never been to the mining dimension, this is basically what they all look like. Mostly they look like they're flat, and there's no mob spawning, and that's it, right? You can actually build stuff here. And what I like to do is whenever I have a mining dimension, I always like to build stuff like farms, animal farms, mob farms, and stuff like that, because it is on a different dimension, and also it just makes it a bit better. Okay, so let me just clarify how this works. There is basically 3 layers to this mining dimension. As you can see in the right corner, we're on a Y level of 253. There's 3 layers. There is the overworld, right? So let me just actually go down. There is the overworld. Then you get deep slate. Okay, so this is still the overworld. Then you get nether. Okay, so this is basically where you can mine for ancient debris and some other stuff from, as you can see, there is right there, right? And there is also the end. This is the 3rd layer, right? And beyond the end layer, there is basically bedrock, which you can just fall to your death. So as I said, there's 3 layers. So basically in the mining dimension, you can just get just about anything. As you can see, there is platinum ore as well. So there is basically just about anything. This is why the mining dimension is so overpowered. Okay, so let me actually demonstrate how you can easily get resources. So as I said, we can use either a digital miner or an RF builder. In this case, I'm going to stick to a digital miner, as this is basically the simplest use. So I'm just going to place this down. If I get some energy cube, the creative one will be great. Thank you. Okay. Just output the energy, output. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So now let's say that I want to collect ancient debris, right? I've already showed you this in a digital miner video, so I'm not going to really go into detail. But basically what we can do is we can just put this to what we want. The 32 is the highest, minimum Y level, so this is the minimum. I'm not exactly sure what's the minimum, but I'm just going to put -25, and the maximum, let's put 250, okay? Because remember that the highest point of this goes to 253. So we have quite a lot of space. You can also visualize this. So if you, oh, sorry, it doesn't work on this dimension. But you get the idea, right? If you limit to the highest possible radius or range, then it'll be just a big area, okay? Go to the config, new filter, tag, and I'm going to put star scrap, which means it's going to collect the ancient debris, right? So if I actually turn this on, as you can see, it's starting to collect ancient debris. Now, also, if you're going to leave this to run, I highly recommend to go to the FTP chunks and make sure that you actually claim all of these chunks, and then make sure that you force load. What does force load mean? Force load means that basically it's a chunk loader and it's going to keep these chunks loaded. If you don't keep the digital miner loaded, it might not work. There used to be an upgrade that did this for you. So it used to be an upgrade called the Anchor upgrade. However, as of now, it has been disabled, right? You're not allowed to create this. I mean, you can get it in the creative mode probably, yep. But it doesn't really work anymore and it has been disabled. So just use the FTP chunks, which is very, very simple. It doesn't really cost anything. And there you go. As you can see, it works. You can actually force loading as well. So maybe if you want to load it for a specific amount of time, you can also force load it, or you can disable it with the mouse wheel. Okay, so let me actually demonstrate what I have done on my world, right? So this is my setup. Now, if you don't obviously have a creative energy cube, because it's only for creative, if you're playing this in survival, which is probably 99.9%, this is what I have done. And this actually makes sure or ensures that your digital miner will never ever run out of electricity. So what I have done is I've basically just got this to dig dirt. It doesn't really matter what you're digging. I have 4 speed upgrades. I would recommend 4 and 8 energy upgrades. And then from here, I just have an elite energy cube. And as you can see, it's actually fully powered. And obviously this is mining, right? So this is continuously working. And then what I have is I have 8 wind generators, which are basically 50% because there's only 8 of them, which means 4 are full. So as you can see, this is full, and this one is full as well, right? So as you can see, there is basically excess of energy, which is very good. And I could probably take away some of them and they would still work, but I really don't use wind generators, so I'm just going to leave this. Overall, now why am I showing you the setup? This setup is important because I'm assuming if you're watching this video, then you really don't have a lot of resources. So this is a very, very cheap setup because the wind generators really don't take a lot of resources and they're very, very cheap to create. They produce a lot of energy 24/7. Right, and that'll be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed or if you have any questions, please comment down below. And as I said, if you can subscribe to my channel, that will be great. Also, in the future episode, I'm going to explain what is an RF builder because as I said, it is a bit of a complicated machine. I can't really explain this in a space of 5 minutes. So I'm going to have to make a dedicated video because if you misconfigure an RF builder, it can create a lot of unwanted damage or it can actually destroy your base if you misconfigure it. And thank you for watching, guys. Peace.